It's easily the best #1 hit of the year so far, but how does it hold up? Let's find out. Hello everyone, Worst Music of the Year here, and today I'm going to be talking about the #1 song in the nation, Happy by Pharrell Williams.
Hey! You can't do that.
Why not?
Because I already reviewed it.
No, you compared it to another song, and quite frankly, you skimmed over a lot of stuff.
I guess, but it was a comparison. I didn't have a lot of time to go through the details.
Even so, you can't deny how vague that review was. I mean, for a guy who complains about vagueness, it was a pretty vague review.
Shut up, like you could do better.
Let's find out. Now, you've all probably heard of Pharrell Williams by now. If you haven't, allow me to talk about him. Pharrell Williams started out as a producer and a writer. His first notable success was writing a verse for Rump Shaker by Rex Effects, one of the worst rap songs of the decade. Not off to a great start, are we? Pharrell then joined a group of producers known as the Neptunes, who are responsible for songs such as I'm a Slave for You, Hot in Here, and Drop It Like It's Hot, listed from worst to best, along with many other songs. In fact, at one point it was estimated that the Neptunes produced almost half the songs on the radio. With this resounding success, it's no surprise that Pharrell appeared on the other side of the screen a few times as well. Most notably, he recorded guest verses for Snoop Dogg and Nelly. But throughout the entirety of his career, Pharrell never really had any of his own songs. Fast forward to 2013, where Pharrell suddenly got back on the public radar, after holding the top 2 spots on Billboard's Hot 100 with Get Lucky and Blurred Lines, both of which were songs he produced. Pharrell decided to try and get a hit of his own, so he released the Grammy-nominated song Happy as a single off of the Despicable Me 2 soundtrack. How did it turn out?
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Apparently pretty well, considering as of April 12th, the song has been resting comfortably at #1 for about a month and a half. Considering most of the songs to hit #1 this year have just been crap, it's nice to see this song at #1, because I will admit I enjoy this song to some extent. It's fun, it's bouncy, it's lighthearted, and as the title implies, it's very happy.
Because I'm happy. Clap along.
In fact, maybe it's a bit too happy. Maybe it's delirious. Yeah, this song is pretty nonsensical.
I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space.
The balloon would deflate and you would die. I could sit here and individually dissect the rest of the lyrics, but it's not really worth it because, first of all, they aren't coherent in the slightest, and second of all, they're meant to be taken with a grain of salt. This song is all about the retro funk feel. The lyrics, they just don't matter. Even so, the lyrics are still there, and they are a problem. When you take them literally, a lot of them don't make sense, and when you take them metaphorically, they're very vague.
There it is. You're ripping me off.
What do you mean?
I already said that.
Let me finish my train of thought here. Vagueness is actually pretty common in pop music. In fact, there's another song on the radio right now that's extremely vague. Say something.
Don't you dare go there. I reviewed that song too.
But you missed a very important point. Personally, I feel that Happy pulls off the vagueness pretty well. Say Something, on the other hand, doesn't.
I said that exact same thing.
But you never explained why. I get why people like Say Something, alright? But honestly, it doesn't appeal to me. Its vagueness just doesn't work for me, because it's trying to be vague and sad at the same time. It's trying to be relatable, but it ends up saying absolutely nothing about anything, and its goal is undesirable. It was trying to make you feel negative emotions, and it did so absolutely effortlessly, essentially insulting its listeners. Happy, on the other hand, is a very simple song in name, style, and writing. It's extremely vague, but the vagueness does work in its favor. It's trying to make you happy. It has an easy and desirable goal. A song like this works best when it's vague. The lyrics don't even need to make sense, they just need to be the most uplifting and jovial things possible, and they are. It's not trying to be much, and it succeeds.
I said all this. You're only repeating it in a admittedly more intelligent way.
Well, there's another reason I decided to make this review. In your comparison, you just grazed over the negatives of the song.
You know, there weren't that many negatives, dude.
And that's where you're wrong. To be honest, I don't really like this song all that much. Sure, it's fun, but there are quite a few things about it that bug me. The simplicity of this song, while it works in the song's favor, is also a bit of a disadvantage. There's simply nothing to this song at all. This song is basically every happy, carefree song in existence whittled down to its purest form. Not that that's a bad thing, but it does sound kind of like if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, except sold to an older audience. The beat to this song, while it is admittedly catchy, is nothing I haven't heard before. It's supposed to be taking inspiration from the retro funk genre, but it's sort of just ripping it off. The chord structure of this bass line is probably stolen from another song, and it never changes. That's another problem. This song is mind-numbingly repetitive. I know that's the point, but it still annoys me. It's just the same 6-second loop repeated over and over. It never builds up upon itself. I mean, sure, it changes a bit in the chorus, but it still sounds pretty much exactly the same. It's a constant, repetitive groove that gets old after a while. And personally, I think this song drones on for way too long. The song would have been a lot better if it were shorter. I mean, besides the chorus, this song only has 2 30-second verses and a 40-second bridge that overstates its welcome. About 60% of this 4-minute song is the chorus. And no, there's no build-up to the chorus. In fact, there's no build-up at all. This song remains at a completely constant level of intensity. It never gets happier, and there's never any contrast to the constant happiness, which can get pretty boring after a while. Halfway through this song, you're content, and by the end, you're in a rut.
Come on. Sure, the beat's a bit minuscule, but the bulk of it comes from Pharrell himself. I mean, you can't deny how into it he is.
Well, yeah, but the song still feels kind of weak to me. I mean, what is this song about, really?
Well, he's happy?
And?
Well, that's it. But didn't you just explain that's all he needed?
Well, yeah, but it's just that I've always felt the song was kind of cheating. I mean, it sounds happy, but of course it sounds happy. It's called Happy. The word happy is sung over 70 times. There is a choir in the background singing the word happy over and over for crying out loud. It's practically hypnosis.
Happy all the day.
This is pandering to an emotion. I wouldn't even call this the personification of happiness because this song is somehow more happy than pure happiness. I didn't even know that was possible. After listening to the song 2 times in a row, happy doesn't even sound like a word. Happy. This sounds like slap now. But the thing is, even though it's unfathomably over the top, it's still strangely weak. After about a minute, I don't feel anything listening to this. This song doesn't personally connect to me. I mean, when I'm already in a good mood, I enjoy it, but it doesn't do much to put me in a good mood, just to keep me there. This is like watching someone else be happy. Scratch that. This is like watching someone else smoke rainbow-colored crack. Entertaining for a while, but soon it just gets annoying. You know, it doesn't surprise me at all that this song was in Despicable Me 2, because it's exactly like the movie. Decent overall, and strong in its delivery, but weak, over-the-top, nonsensical, and very forgettable in literally every other aspect. In fact, this song is so forgettable, I actually never noticed that it was in Despicable Me 2. I watched the entire movie, and I don't even recognize this from any of it.
Huh. Neither do I.
Are you sure this wasn't the end credits song or something? But you know what? That's enough negative talk. According to several death clocks on the internet, if I'm a pessimist, I'll die at 56. And I'd much rather live to a solid 99, so I'm gonna talk some more about the positive aspects of this song. Admittedly, the beat to this song is awesome for the first couple minutes. The groove is pretty uplifting, the retro funk sample is nice, and... Malacritico, could you help me out here? I'm having trouble thinking of other positives.
Seriously? You invite me to your video to pretty much call my review inadequate, attempt to disprove it, and now you want me to name positives because you can't think of any?
I didn't invite you, you just barged in here because you didn't want me to review something you'd already reviewed. You did the exact same thing to James a while back, and the Asian critic chick. I mean, come on, let one slide.
Fine. While Happy may be flawed, it still is the first decent song to hit #1 in a while. Another great thing we keep mentioning is how the vagueness works for its advantage. Pharrell comes off as this really bubbly guy that never really seems upset, and while yes, he can be annoying sometimes, emotion is more often than not contagious. So yes, within the right circumstances, Happy could cheer someone up.
Also, Pharrell himself is great on this.
Damn right he is. While I don't think Pharrell's a particularly strong singer, I definitely do think he has enough charisma to sell pretty much whatever he's in. The #1 reason I like this song is a little more personal though. I think about our past #1s, Katy Perry's Dark Horse, where she talks down on men, or Pitbull's Timber, where he's, well, Pitbull. But Happy, all Happy wants to do is spread joy. You're right, it doesn't have any meaning, it doesn't have a greater purpose. But what it does have is the need to spread happiness. And in the end, that's all it really needs.
Definitely. Overall, I'd give this song a very flimsy pass. This song certainly has its fair share of negative aspects, but the positive aspects are enough to outweigh them. This song gets a 6 out of 10 from me.
I don't usually give ratings, but if I were, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Despite the fact that I love this song for a lot of personal reasons, I'm still a critic, and I cannot ignore the technical stuff wrong with it. I still regard it highly, though.
And while the groove wore off on me pretty quickly and doesn't really do much for me, I can't hate a song that's just trying to spread a little happiness.
Well, if that's it, I'm the Malacritico, Bangladesh sucks, and Ethan's hand thing is a lot harder to do than it looks. Good night.
And I'm Worst Music of the Year, and Josh, how do you end your videos again?
Don't you watch them?
Yeah, but your endings were kind of unmemorable.
You think I'm just gonna sit here and let you make fun of my endings?
Fine, I'll just look it up. Oh, that's kind of lame.
Just say it.
Fine, I'm Worst Music of the Year. There's a lot to choose from, and I'm glad you chose me. See, it doesn't feel conclusive. It feels like the first half of a sign.
This video's over! There. How's that for a conclusion?
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. I make these weekly.
Or you could subscribe to my channel. There should be a link in the description.
This is my end card. What are you doing here?
Dude, I was in the video too. I'm advertising my channel.
Oh, okay. Malacritico and I are both on this website called Team Night Saturn, along with some other great reviewers. If you want to check out that website, there's a link in the description. Also, if you want to follow me on Facebook and Twitter, check out my update blog, check out my website, or ask me a question, there are links in the description. So go ahead and click them.
Change your plan. Don't do any of that.
Get out.